time to experience the O's on the Original Sports Podcast.
Fellas, this is a first for me, man. This is a first for me, being in a car doing a podcast. I hope this works out for me. We are traveling to see my niece in South Carolina, somewhere in South Carolina. I don't know. Fountain Creek, Fountain Rock, Fountain, somewhere. And my wonderful wife got behind the wheel when we left the house at like 8:40, and she's still behind the wheel. She likes to drive. She puts in her little earbuds so she don't have to hear anything. She listens to Dave the Ramrod Ramsey and all his financial advice.
That's a good one.
Yeah. She could tell you every episode. Every once in a while, she'll gasp and she'll be like, oh, and I'll be like, what is it? Oh, it's just something. This guy is $7 trillion in debt, and I'm like, oh my God.
Hey, you know? But before we continue, you're showing a little nipple. Just put the nipple away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a PG. PG. You ain't trying to get past this week.
Yeah, you got a little nip.
He want us to start throwing dollars. Where them dollars at?
I need singles. I'm glad we were able to get on here. I know T-Sizz may or may not join us. He's completely unprepared because he's been on the run. I don't know that his wife just tells him we're going here, and he jumps on and goes.
Yeah,
so
happy wife, happy life.
That's what I always say. I had to go pick some medicine up today, and the lady asked me a question or something, and I said, I don't know. My wife takes care of all that. I said, I just let her do that. Happy wife, happy life. And she said, you're smart, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, heck yeah. You see the boy in the back?
Yeah, I see him move.
Yeah. Chops, how was that trip down to JJ's?
Man, it's lovely because it's relatively a straight shot, but the last 120 miles are through small towns, and you'll go literally 15 miles. We're seeing maybe a house or two here and there. Speed limit is 45. You're in the backwoods of Louisiana. Don't get out of the car. If you're in the Caucasian persuasion, don't get out. Man, I'm telling you. So I stay. That's the only thing I don't like is the last 2.5, 3 hours is in the back road. Slow. I mean, slow.
Wow.
Slow going.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I've never gone down south the way we're going, but 81 to 77, it's been smooth.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, no traffic. We didn't have to sit on 95 in Fredericksburg for hours.
If I'm not mistaken, that takes you to Charlotte, right, Chops? 81 to 77?
77, yeah. But now, of course, from Vandergrift, I get on 19 south through Beckley. I'll hit 77, but I don't get on 81, but I do get 77. And then I'll hit 85.
It's just easier for us to hit 81. It's been smooth sailing, though. It's been smooth sailing. Fellas, I get it together this summer. Last summer, we had to take a hiatus. Range things. We got some cool stuff. We've got an MMA fighter, a lightweight dude by the name of David Music. He'll be dropping on July 25th. We've got some stuff coming up after that. We're going to do our fantasy football draft, which is going to be pretty exciting. Now that we got the chopper in on it.
Man, I ain't even hot fellas.
We got him in.
I used to be big on NFL fantasy football. I'm telling you, it's been good 4 or 5 years since I played. And I remember being in 4 5, 6, literally once. It was only once I was in 6 leagues at once. Normally it's 3 to 4, but I was in 1 year, 6 leagues. I loved it, but now I just don't do it as much.
Well, we're bringing you back.
Well,
in my Ollie-like return to the ring.
Hey, you know who jumped?
Huh?
Hey, Watson's getting in on it. I'm pretty excited for that.
Wow.
He asked what we were going to use. He's the he asked, what are we going to use? I said, we're going to do the same thing we did last year. It's going to be a small roster, so there's guys out there that you can pick if your guy goes down. And I said, exact same way. We'll just have a little more time for everybody to do their picks. So start doing your homework now. I want to make sure I get everybody's money legit.
Because when you say that, how are we going to do it? I've seen some leagues that do 2 quarterbacks that start. Some, I've seen that. Yeah, it's great down here. It's Georgia. They do all kind of craziness. But however you want to do it, we're doing 1 quarterback, 3 receivers, 2 wideouts, tight end, 2 running backs, whatever. Now, are we picking defenses or defensive players?
I think we did defense last year, didn't we, Sheen? Yeah.
Yes, defenses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be fun. But, obviously after that, we've got stuff coming up in the fall with the NFL and the NCAA. I'm working on a couple of young bucks to come on the show that are playing at the D1 level and talk with us a little bit about, what the forecast is for their team and what they see around the league with all the stuff we've talked about 100 different times, the NIL stuff and all that. I want to hear what they have to say from their perspective.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah, man.
Let's jump in.
Yeah. Hey, let me get this all primed up. The summer usually is all about being outside, swimming, barbecue, relaxing, and just enjoying the sunshine. All right. This summer adds a bit different element from a sports standpoint. Football, NHL. This summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's dead. Gone.
Yeah, he is. He just had the bad connection. So he was going over everything, what we got lined up for the summer and everything, which is straight, get it up there, get it out there. But what we are going to do, we're going to do a lot of top 10 lists today, right? Here's my thing. I'll keep it a buck with you, Sheen. Most sports, I don't have top 10s. I have I like to do my top 3 or top 5s. And here's my thing. And only because, let's say, give me your top 3. What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Okay. Give me your top 3 receivers of all time.
Rice.
Okay.
It's got to be Moss for me. Rice, Moss, and let me think. Sheesh. Rice, Moss, and the third one. Wow. Yeah, you're right. This gets kind of sticky. Rice.
Hey, I'm sorry, fellas.
I got you. Man, we were just sitting there talking. We knew coming on today we were going to do a lot of the top 10 list, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling Sheen, I don't do top 10 list. I do top 3 or 5. Reason being is
it gets murky.
Yeah, because once we go 6 to 10, you're like, well, my 8 is this, my 9, it doesn't really care. But if we're going our top 3 to 5 in a sport, okay. Now we're going to get to the nitty gritty and we get to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this, Sheen, real quick. Everybody's going to go Rice. Yeah. I get you that. Top receiver. Numbers or his skill set? Because we know he had wheels.
Numbers. It's just numbers for me. For me, it's the numbers. But listen, I'm being honest with you. I would go with Moss because it's Moss.
Yes. Yeah.
It's Moss. I mean, they created a whole verb. You've been mossed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah.
That's okay. So real quick, who was your third?
Michael Irvin, playmaker.
You're going Irvin. See, I could
numbers wise.
Ooh. Well, that's what we're saying. When you go top, when you go top 3, or excuse me, when everybody's going to go Jerry Rice is number 1 all-time best receiver. Are you saying Rice won because of his skill set, or because of the numbers?
Numbers. Fitzgerald, numbers. Yeah,
Chris Carter.
numbers.
How about Moss?
Skill.
Moss is strictly skill. Yeah, Moss is skill. Yeah. Moss
I
is
actually
skill.
put Moss behind. I go Moss behind Rice. That's me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm personally not big on Michael Irvin. I was never big on that team. They were good, but I was not big on them.
And here's the thing. I'll give him his props. I give him his props. I like Chris Carter, but more of his comeback story of how he almost lost everything and he come back beating the drugs, whatever have you.
Wow.
But fellas, because you can say he was a cancer, he destroyed him, whatever you want. Owens came to play. Terrell Owens came to play, regardless of what happened. So I really liked him. See, but here's the thing, fellas. If we're keeping it a buck, though,
we always keep it a buck.
Okay, my top three, skill set wise, forget about numbers, skill set wise. Moss, because he could outrun you or jump over you. I loved Lynn Swann. He was you can't get more acrobatic. Come on, that's Swanee. Baby. I did.
The sport.
I did.
Receiver position because he was doing ballet in college to be a better athlete. Yeah.
So, and I like Swanee, and being honest with you, I'm torn. I really did like T.O. because he worked hard, but Fitzgerald never asked for much, but he was solid. Solid. And then I would love to see what Megatron could have done if he'd have had a decent quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's where. Oh, fellas, I do skill set because for me, Megatron's up there.
How about the kid from Atlanta? I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Come on, fellas. Not Rashene, the kid who just recently played in Atlanta.
We had Calvin Ridley was there for a minute. He was athletic.
Jones.
Oh, Julio. Woo, yeah. He was just so big. He walked around. He looked like an Adonis. He was just yeah.
With that said, we're going to definitely jump into this top 10 athletes.
Okay, let's get it.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Sheen, let's go top 5. I'm good with that. Top said, let's do the top 5 thing. So I got top 5. I got Muhammad Ali, top 5 athletes. Michael Jordan, top 5 athletes. I got Usain Bolt. Top 5 athletes. Can you hear me better now?
Not as good as the first time, but I can hear you.
Okay.
That's right.
And then I got Serena. And then I got and you may not agree with this one, but I got Babe Ruth. Top 5. He transcended the sport of baseball. He did it early. He did not face Negro League players. I get it. I get the whole thing. But he transcended the game. Big power hitter, strong, two-way player. Kind of like they're putting Ohtani on a pedestal right now, so much so he gets away with gambling. He was the original guy.
Okay. So for me, I'm going to tell you, and we always have this conversation, top athletes for me is you can play more than one sport professionally at a top tier.
Yeah.
So, of course, Bo, Dion, Dave Winfield, Jim Brown. I got more. I got Brian Jordan. He played for football and baseball. Yeah. Danny Ainge. Do y'all know Danny Ainge was an All-American in football, basketball, and baseball?
Yeah.
I had no clue. That's crazy. Now that's crazy. Dave DeBusschere. Did you know he played baseball and basketball?
I did not know that.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Bob Hayes.
Bullet Bob. Yeah. He was track football. Yeah. Here,
this man.
Mark.
Met this man recently. I forget where we were. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I met this man recently who coached Brian Jordan in high school, and he said he was head and shoulder, like nobody was even near him anywhere they played, anybody that came through the school. He said he was just a cut above from day one. It was kind of like Bill Fralick when Bill Fralick went to Penn Hills. When Bill Fralick went to Penn Hills, he was a cut above everybody else. You knew what he was destined for, and so did he.
Brian Jordan's from Maryland. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay. The crazy part is, Sheen, we had our top three are the same.
Okay.
Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, and here's the thing. I do think Bo was a better athlete, baseball and football, but he didn't do it long enough. So technically, I had Deion over Bo, only because Deion ended up becoming the greatest corner we've ever seen.
Yes.
And I understand Bo got hurt, but it is what it is, okay? Now, having said that, I had Deion, I got Bo, I did have Brian Jordan, right? Here's where it got a little choppy for me. Here's what got a little choppy for me, right? I had Charlie Ward. And hold on. He won the Heisman, but he still ended up getting drafted in the NBA and had a successful long career.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Also thought about Elway.
Yeah.
Remember, Elway told the Colts, "I won't play for you. I'll go play baseball." You know what I'm saying? So those are you and I are on the same track in a lot of those ways, Sheen. Because I always look at who can play multiple sports at a high level. Jordan did basketball better than anyone else ever did. But he barely hit above the Mendoza line in AAA.
Baseball, so he was Sammy Khalifa.
Yeah. So on that aspect, those are mine. Sanders, Bo Jackson, Jordan, because he played professional at both levels.
Yes.
And then I'm iffy. You can go Charlie Ward or Elway. And Ocho Cinco was a hell of an athlete too, because he played a lot of great soccer as well as football, but he's not documented in college or whatever like Ward and Elway were.
Whoa. So where's Dave Winfield in this?
Okay.
He's the only guy drafted by everyone.
I know.
No, he's not the only one. I'm sorry. There's another guy. I forget who it was, but there's another guy out there. But yes. What's up, Daniel?
What's going on, Daniel?
But see, here's my thing. And I should take that more into consideration, but I've never even seen any footage of Winfield. None of playing anything else, right?
So he did play basketball in college. I think a lot of those leagues was based off of what he did over there. We think it can translate over here.
I got you. No, and honestly, to me, Dave Winfield, hell of a he was a monster with the bat. You guys would go more into it, but I always think of him as what he was behind the field, not so much Golden Glove or what he arm and all. I'd like him in the field, hitting.
You know what he was? He was Aaron Judge before Aaron Judge. He was a really big statured guy.
He is definitely that.
Outfield. He played right field. He ran very, very well. He hit for power and he hit for average. Judge maybe not so much average, but man, he can crush the ball. He drives and runs. Today, average in Major League Baseball just doesn't mean a damn thing. It doesn't, man.
Right.
You could be a 250 hitter, and they're throwing heaps of money at you. But see, back in the day, you needed to be that 300 guy. Hey, you guys know that Tony Gwynn was a basketball player too, right?
Yes, I do. Yep,
so
I knew that.
You could lump him in that group. I mean, Chops, you've been sending that stuff out on Tony Gwynn, man. It just forgotten great athletes in baseball. I don't think today's athlete in baseball is nearly as great as those guys were. Stealing bases, hitting home runs, hitting for average, fielding the ball. Yeah, they might be bigger and stronger and quicker, but they didn't play the game of baseball like those guys did.
Okay. Kyler Murray got to be on that list too.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I get
on both sports.
And I know, but see, here's the thing. I never saw any of that. I saw, back then. So that's why I'm going strictly with what I've seen eye test. Even if I could see some old footage. Even I saw, like I said, Bullet Bob Hayes. I had seen him on the track. I had seen him. play football. So in video, so I'm cool with that.
All
Rashene,
right.
I got one for you. Ronaldo Nehemiah.
He couldn't catch.
Couldn't catch a cold.
That's
Couldn't
bad.
catch a cold.
He stretched that field, though. He stretched that field.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, you can't catch it. Skeets couldn't catch it.
No, I not even like Carl Lewis, to be honest with you, because he did so much on the track. Fellas, I get into a lot of arguments with guys on this because the Barber had Usain Bolt on his. Usain Bolt was a sprinter. You can get better a step here or there, but if you can't run, you can't run. You know what I mean? You can get better hitting the fastball. You can get better catching passes. There are some guys that if you can't run, you just can't run. And it's hard for me to consider track stars, if you're a sprinter or a long distance guy, athletes. You're gifted at sprinting. You're gifted at long distance. But when you can play baseball, you can play football, you can play basketball, you can play hockey, tennis, that's where I start looking at more athletic people. But that's me. That's me.
Okay. All right.
All right, what do we got next? What do we got next? Barber's.
Is he frozen?
Yeah, he's frozen up on us.
Then we better go NFL defensive players.
Okay, now, when we're going NFL defensive players, currently, and it stinks that we can't put my boy from Penn Hills, Aaron Donald, in there. He retired. He's not current. He's not current.
No, he's current. He just retired.
He's retired.
He just retired.
So you want to call him current since the new season? Okay, so you'll give him that since the season hasn't
When we
started.
say current, I'm thinking like 90s. What's current?
I was saying playing.
Oh,
so you
wow.
want to, but it's up to you. If you want to go 90s, we can do that because that puts Dion in there.
Oh, Dion's definitely in there.
Okay, now see, that to me is all time. Because now I'm telling you flat out. Let me ask you this. Because again, Donald seemed to be an athlete. Aaron Donald on the line. But I don't consider, even though I was a D lineman really great athletes. They can be, but it looks more athletic as a corner than a D lineman. So I could literally have all three of my guys as corners and D-backs. Whether you go back to Mel. Go ahead.
I missed all three of your guys. Who were your three guys?
We jumped to the NFL to make sure that you would be on here for NHL.
Yeah, that's cool.
Go ahead, Chops. Did you give him top? Well, see, we were discussing current. Is current like 1990? Or are you talking like 2023?
The 2000s, I'd say current.
Okay.
All right, then.
That eliminates some of my list, but go ahead.
Well, when did Prime, because he wasn't on the 2000 or 99 Ravens, but Ray Lewis was, but at that point, now I'm going my top. I like Ed Reed. I like Troy. I like Troy, right? I like Palomalu. As much as dude, I gotta put Ray Lewis on that Joker. I do. I put Ray Lewis on there, right? Now, and I like since we're going strictly defense, Reed, Palomalu. I'm gonna go Revis was better at his position than Ray Lewis was at his. I'm going Revis. I got
definitely on that list.
So that's who I got. I got Reed, Palomalu, and Revis, and in no real order because they're all 1As to me.
Let me ask you this then: if I said to you, who's the all-time greatest linebacker to play in the league? Who would you say? Could you say, or is the criteria different based on the different generations of guys who came through?
It's definitely LT for me.
Okay.
It's definitely.
Is he a linebacker though, or is he?
I know that's what I was thinking.
A stand-up end.
Oh, okay. So do you want to go? So we saying okay? Then for me, is Ray Lewis.
Okay.
I wish Patrick Willis hadn't retired early, but I will, man. I'll say Ray Lewis also. Just
because he could cover the field and do all that stuff. You know what? I don't think it's even a question.
He was a leader.
We haven't seen anybody come into the league like that just yet. I'm still patiently waiting for a guy who can fill a hole, go sideline to sideline, and run with a back and a tight end in the coverage, plus sack somebody. You know, like we just haven't seen that complete player. Would have been interesting to see what happened with Shazier if you know, he hadn't had that sudden injury and been exited out of the league.
All right, let's do it. NHL time.
Okay, top 3. I guess you want me to hit this off, huh?
Oh, top 3. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'll go top 5 if you want.
I go top 10, but let's go.
Oh, we'll do top 10. I have no problem with that. You got to go Wayne Gretzky number 1. It's not even close. Me personally, just because I think his injuries and being a little bit of a homer on this, I'd say Lemieux number 2. Again, I know people definitely wouldn't agree with me that hear me say that. They would say there's other guys that were better than Lemieux, and that's fine. They can have that opinion, but to me, I don't think it was any better during his era because he took a beating and he was injured. He had freaking cancer. The guy had cancer and came back from that and had a huge night.
Yes, he did.
You know, Bobby Orr would be number 3 for me.
Okay.
You know, he was, as it says, he revolutionized the defensive position because he was the guy who could not only carry the puck, but he would lay your ass out, whether it's in front of the net or in the corner. And he won 8 Norris trophies. We got to get into Gordie Howe in the top 5.
Yep, you do.
You know, and then you get to a couple of guys that, you know, I never saw Jean Beliveau play, but you know, the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, they still say today he was their greatest captain. Messier, as much as I don't like him, personally, he was a great hockey player. He was a winner. And Rashene, I know you understand what I'm saying here. 200-foot player. Messier would go back, help out the defenseman, carry the puck out of the zone, look for the first wing on the boards, and he'd drive the net. So he really was quintessential. Now, you're getting into a couple more Penguins here, and I don't care what people think. Okay? Yager has to be in the top 10. The things Jaromir Yager did as a player.
That's a fact.
You know, the bottom line is that guy's still playing. Okay, he's playing over in his country for his team in Kladno, whatever. He was unbelievable.
He was.
You did not get the puck off.
No, I was going to say that. He was like Curly Neal spinning the ball on his finger, like, take the damn ball off his finger. He's spinning it. But he be in the corner with the puck.
And they would bang away on him. But he was just so big. He was so big. Dudes was bouncing off of him.
He was,
I'm going to put Patrick Roy at number 9, and then I'm going to cap it off. I'm going to cap it off with the Penguin captain, Sidney Crosby, at number 10. Now, the reason I'm doing that is Crosby is still playing it at an amazing level. He's still playing 200 feet. The reason that team is even in the hunt every year to make the playoffs is because that kid still puts up a boatload of points. He still plays 200 feet. And don't forget, he missed, a year and a half, something like that, of hockey for a concussion. And he still managed to continue to play right now. In fact, probably as we're speaking, they're grinding out that last contract with him. He's not leaving Pittsburgh. He said he made a commitment to stay there his entire career and to help them get things going in the right direction once again. And he wants one more shot at the cup. So, you know, that's my 10 guys. No question.
So my 10 is pretty much the same. I'm just going to add Rocket Richard, the first to get the 50 goals. Guy Lafleur, Guy, gotta have him on there, and Connor McDavid, number 10.
Interesting.
Wow, already?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't put him in there yet.
Wow.
I just don't. Here's one of the things about McDavid I did not know. You know, he claimed to be injured and stuff once the cup was over, and then they got candid pictures of him out on his boat fishing and swimming. Like, if you're injured 2 weeks later, you shouldn't be out doing that. You know, you should be resting your body because the season's coming around quicker than any.
But people kill me with this. Like, I understand we all love sports, but those guys get time to recline and relax themselves. And if how he wanted to recline, you know what I'm saying? there's, people say, oh, it's the middle of the season and you were, when the Vikings were out on that party boat, right, wherever have you, that's how they choose it. Okay, but there are other people in high stress jobs, doctors. You may have to perform a surgery this coming Thursday. It's Monday. Should you not be out on your boat? I need your concentration a whole hell of a lot more than that damn D line. You know what I mean? So I just don't get that, man. That bothers me. They're athletes. They're human beings. They need time to rewind. I remember real quick, not to get off on tangent, Urlacher's mother died. And he sat out the game the week his mother died, and he caught flack from fans for that. Are you kidding? I'll never forget that when Urlacher's mother died. He sat out and caught flack for it. That was just ridiculous. If it was on the same, it's going to be the Gretzky. I was torn on number 2. I went with Bobby Orr.
Which is
and for me, everybody's convinced. I can't clearly say, and I don't have an issue when people say Lemieux over Yager. But man, I liked Yager. I was just a Yager guy. I really liked Yager. I really did. I really did. So I would put Yager before Lemieux. Not saying he's the top 3 because there are still other guys that, again, I never saw play, right? Like Gordie Howe. I've heard of him, but I've never seen him. But I like Yager before Lemieux. So wherever you put, go ahead.
Lemieux is the reason the black kid from the city of Pittsburgh was watching hockey.
See,
I was probably the only one. Like, they were like, you watch hockey?
It was Gretzky before. Now, of course, it was Grant Fuhr, but it was Gretzky before Lemieux. It was Gretzky before Lemieux.
It was for me. It's seeing Lemieux getting dragged down to the ground and still control the puck and still score. Like, how are you doing this?
Yeah,
like that was it for me. Or he would go. I mean, when he scored a goal every way that you could in the game. Like, come on, man. Come on. I might be wrong on this one too, but I don't know if he invented the go around the back of the goal, shoot off the goalie's back, and into the net. That's the first time I ever seen that. It was Lemieux.
No, he didn't invent it, but
okay, I'm just the man was he was all that.
One of the more interesting stories about Lemieux is when he first came to Pittsburgh, he loved the golf. He still loves the golf. He was at a golf course. He was 18 years old. He's out there, and Lemieux smoked when he first got into the league, when he first came to Pittsburgh. And apparently he died a cigarette butt out on the golf course. And he got lit up by those people. Nobody knew who he was when he first. I mean, they knew who Mario Lemieux was. They knew the name, but they didn't know that's who he was. And wow, he had a wake up call doing that stuff. It wasn't like he was in Canada dying a cigarette butt out in the queue or something like that on one of their golf courses. He took a beating for that. Fellas, I want to tell you, I love hockey, and I think hockey guys are the quintessential athlete. Almost any guy I ever met that was a hockey guy is just, they're gentlemanly. Only guy I ever met that was an ass was Messier, which is, it is what it is. But you would never know those guys are as tough as they are if you ever met them. Even guys like Marty McSorley or Probert, guys who are fighters, they're just different. They're built different. Would you say that you have to be? What's your opinion on this? Would you say that at any age, would you have to be a good athlete and pretty agile to play hockey?
Hell yeah.
Got to have great balance. Balance.
You're skating backwards with someone skating forward at full speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your eye-hand coordination has to be top notch.
Yep.
Your dexterity, man. Your coordination, balance,
Almost at any level, though, right? Going through, okay, because my son was recently told that he wasn't athletic and agile enough to play on a specific baseball team that he had tried out for, and we just laughed like crazy about it because this kid's been playing hockey. He's been skating since he was 4. He's been playing hockey since he was 8, and my point was, you've got to be a hell of an athlete, I feel, to be on those blades and to move on a dead stop one direction or another.
I mean, put Dion on some skates and see if he can do it.
And the crazy part about it is, think about some of the greatest baseball players we love. Okay, like Tony Gwynn, one of the best hitters. To me, Tony Gwynn, the best hitter. Not home run, but the best hitter. you can't tell me Tony Gwynn was agile, but he knew baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is a mountain of a man. He doesn't come across to be nimble to me, but he's nimble enough to play, you know what I mean, play a sport, play baseball, whatever have you. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
To me, you need, if you're a shortstop, the infielders, they need to be pretty good at the shuttle run, I guess, you know, because they cover the area side to side pretty fast. But even baseball, even catchers, if you can get a decent hockey stance, you know, get the kick, the glove save, the leg save, whatever, you'll be fine. I don't see a whole lot of athleticism in baseball the same way I would correlate to hockey.
Do you think a guy like, let's say, Rowdy Tellez, the first baseman from the Pirates, or the Vogelback guy, you know, those are big, strong guys.
Think about this. Think about this. They have pinch runners for guys. Okay, you hit. So all we needed your big ass to do. Now sit down on the bench while we get somebody else faster. You know what I'm saying? How many times in high school I used to get pinch run for? So
I agree 100%.
Absolutely. So
it just doesn't make sense. You know, some stuff doesn't make sense to me. It's all an evaluation piece, and he's using it as motivation. But I wanted to get your take on that. You know, the last guy I can think of that was an incredible baseball player from the 70s was Steve Garvey. He was a first baseman, but he was jacked because he could hit and he could scoop a ball. I don't think he was very athletic, and I don't think he was very agile, but he could play his position well.
Yeah. But you remember what did Einstein say? A fish would think he's an idiot if you judge his ability to climb a tree. I can't climb a tree, but I can swim, I can do whatever. You know what I mean? So I get, but if you, to me, if you can play hockey, I already know you have the muscle memory, you have the balance, the coordination to do other things. You just got to implement it because you can already do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Chops. Yep. We need you to start off with the NBA top 10. Go.
All time?
Yes.
Oh, you know, come on, dog. First, okay, again, top 3 to 5 because we can go back and forth on this. I'm going Jordan. I'm going Magic. 6'9", could handle. I like Magic, fellas. I like Magic.
Okay.
And because of what he could do, I'm going to go Shaq. Oh, but it's hard for me to go Shaq because all he did was in the paint. Where Elijah one to me was significantly better. You're right. I'm going Elijah one because he could take you out. A big man, he could take you down low, but he could also take you out. My top 3: Jordan, Magic, Elijah one. I'm going to I'm going to throw Dennis Rodman in there because Rodman worked. You were not going to outwork him. You were not going to out-rebound him. That to me is where, like, I like that aspect. He wasn't an aspect of just, I'll just get these or try to get my few points and sit there. No, I like Rodman as well. I know he traditionally is not going to be on anybody's top 5 greatest of all time, but because of what he added to the game and how you look at him is why I got him in there.
Okay. Top 3 for me is Jordan, Bryant, and James.
Wow. First off, y'all saw the thing I sent you. Bryant was McDowell's. He copied Jordan and everything. And
what's wrong with that? If you're gonna copy somebody,
I get that. And it's hard. It is so hard for me to be a LeBron James fan. And technically, I know in this aspect it's just hating because been married. Seriously, I can keep it a buck. Been married to the same woman for years. Only one baby's mother. Trying to start a school where kids do right. Bringing his child up and spreading the wealth. No off-court issues with that man. So there's no reason to not like him. And that's truly what it is. It's just hating. Right. But also in the same token, I watched this man with a pulled ankle get carried off the court. You're 6'9", 260. Get up and walk. So it is. I know on paper, Braun is what he is. You're bigger than Gronk. You play in a sport they can't D you up. They can't do anything. You're 6'9". You should have more points than anybody else in this day and age. That's why it's hard for me to like. It is. It's hard for me to like Braun. It is.
Okay. Mark, you got 3?
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Chops?
Yes. I can. Yeah, we got you now.
You got 3? Okay. 3 NBAs?
You know who I throw into the mix here? You guys might think I'm crazy, but Tim Duncan. Okay. I definitely think he was, he not only could get down low and bang it, but talk about being an athlete, man. That dude could run the floor too. My top three would be Magic and MJ. MJ being number one. And then, it's kind of a toss-up at number three. There are so many dudes. I understand your point about Olajuwon. I understand, all the other guys. Kobe Bryant was incredible. He was just ridiculous no matter where you put him on the floor, and his passion.
See, when you mentioned Duncan, I put Duncan in a whole different category. To me, Tim Duncan was he was great. He was great. I give you that. But he was one of the most fundamentally sound players. Him, John Stockton, seriously, man, but it worked. You know what I mean? That's why it's hard for me to say he was the greatest, because, again, I do like some flair. I like some flair, some, flash, pizzazz, get the crowd hyped, so on and so forth. But you got to give Duncan his props on what he's done. But, fellas, I just missed the fact that we don't see traditional ball players anymore in basketball. You see 7-footers taking threes now like it ain't nothing. That's what bothers me.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, we talked about that draft. That draft was you got role players that were drafted at the top of that draft. You didn't get any. You really did not get somebody who day one is going to step on the court and make a difference. To me, you didn't. I don't see it. I don't see anybody in that draft. Maybe the kid from DC, because DC is so. But there's a lot of guys at the top of that draft that I was just like, what? Wait, who?
Yeah. I agree.
The NBA is interesting. It really is. To me, it's probably the fourth sport I would watch out of the top four.
But what for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. I have a problem with the NBA, but the NBA to me, as all sports are, but the NBA really the way it's played now and how it gains popularity is a microcosm of what our younger people in their 20s and 30s, that's mainly what the athletes are in their 20s, has become. Where you have sideshows like the Paul brothers making millions and millions in boxing, and they're not boxers. We just had a fight where Nate Diaz and Masvidal, who were MMA guys, had a pay-per-view for $50 on the ticket. They're not boxers. We have NBA guys that are cat from, Karl Anthony Towns. He loves shooting threes. Dirk was a three-point shooter. You're 7 foot. Get your ass in the paint. You know what I mean? So that's where, but that's what our society is nowadays, man, to where these younger cats and the way they're changing a lot of the sports, we don't have the traditional role, and they're not doing it in basketball. That's what is why it's not as exciting to me. Jordan could shoot. He could shake anybody. He was still going down inside that paint. A lot of guys ain't doing that nowadays. A lot of guys ain't getting nowhere, and they don't even foul.
Let me ask you this: I'm going to drop some names at you, and I want to tell you if you start a team with LeBron James or this guy's name. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple of guys. Obviously, Michael Jordan. Would you start it with LeBron, or would you start a team with Michael Jordan?
Jordan.
Okay. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, or Michael Jordan?
Wait, say it again. You gave us three.
Kobe Bryant, or I'm sorry, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James?
Chops, you want to get on that one?
I like Kobe over LeBron.
Yeah,
okay.
I do too.
Kobe played with passion. He tried to D you up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Maybe LeBron started playing D when he started out, but he doesn't play as much D now. I understand he's older and he can't, but he hasn't played, to me, D. But they change how defense is now. They'll give it. I mean, they gave Rudy Gobert got what? 4th time straight defensive player of the year, and when he was in the playoffs, he got cooked. Terrible, garbage.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Shaquille O'Neal or LeBron James?
Shaq.
That's my guy.
How about this one? This is kind of interesting. Larry Bird or LeBron James?
Ooh.
Shit. I still like Bird. Because Bird, he look, with his vertical, you could barely put an index card up under his feet in the floor. But he'd go inside the paint, and if he touched, there would a shot you wouldn't teach anyone. However, he was like that. You know what I mean? And even though when his back was in terror, he had to lay on the floor. He couldn't even sit on the bench during the Olympics. He laid on the floor. And yet he still did that for his country. You know what I'm saying? He was playing terror. He was in pain, but he was still playing. You see these guys sitting out loads, man. I'm going Bird. I'm going Bird.
Hey, my last one, you guys, and I'm going to throw it back here. Dr. J, Julius Erving or LeBron James?
I'm going with Dr. J because I love Dr. J, but I think you would probably take Bron over Dr. J. Dr. J is my favorite. So I'm being a homer.
I do love Dr. J, but if we're going game for game, I would give this to Braun because Braun, or at least I haven't seen go back. Think about the Dr. J highlights you've seen. It's all him near the rim. You know what I mean? It's not him shooting from way downtown or shooting before they had threes or him shooting, taking you 18, 19 feet out. So I'll go with Braun on that. I'll go with Braun. And to be honest with you, I don't even know that Dr. J is a great ball handler. You know what I mean? I think about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that he is.
But think how far back I just had to go back. I named some great players throughout the course of time. Think how far we went back and dropped some names before you actually had to think about taking LeBron James over a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was my whole case in point. And he's the face of the NBA today still. And that's exactly why, Chops, I'm side with you on everything you just said. If this guy's the face of the NBA, and we went back that far with guys, and you weren't taking LeBron James over almost all of them, well then, oh my God, that's why the NBA, in my opinion, just
Yeah. And if you think about it, go back like we said in the 80s and 90s when you liked a guy. I don't care if you liked Isaiah. What do you think about Isaiah? The split eye, right? I don't care if you like Lambeer because he was hard. Rodman, Stockton. He was in there. He was, fundamentally sound. You pick whoever you liked. They played, and you're going how they went hard, how they went at a guy. You go Braun. Or these guys want to say they got killer. No, or even last year when they tried to get John Moran, he just kept getting in trouble. These guys are all flash. That's what, you know what I mean? Even Steph. Steph seems like a great guy and he's cool as shit. You only think of Steph on the outside taking deep threes. You're not thinking of him going at you and trying to step on your neck like Kobe did, like Jordan started. You know what I mean? That just wasn't. That's not what we're dealing with now. That bothers me.
Hey, did
bothers
you
me may be a bad choice of words. It's not what I'm a fan of.
Did you guys hear about this? Karl Malone finally came clean and admitted that the woman who had his kid when he was 22 and she was 13, that's his kid. They finally did DNA or something, and they proved that that's his kid. He finally.
Is he talking about Karl Malone? I can't really hear him. Is he talking about Karl Malone?
Yes, Karl Malone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. I did see that. But was he like 21 and she was 13 or something?
Yeah.
He was 22 and she was 13.
Where the hell did they meet?
Friends of the basketball team or something? I think it was friends of the basketball team or something like that. A babysitter's sister or cousin, something like that. But Phil,
That's crazy.
Yeah. But that is how.
With the last couple.
Let's hit it.
Which one we got? Top college coaches? Top baseball? What you want to do? Tell me.
I can't do baseball.
Jump ahead to.
I ain't even gonna lie. I can't do baseball, fellas. I can't do the baseball coaches.
Jump ahead to your favorite beverages while you're watching the game.
Oh man. Well, first, like I said, high quality H2O is always going to be my first go-to. Always going to be my first go-to. Always. Now, here's the thing.
Quality, Chops?
Ice cold. Ice cold.
Okay.
Ice. Got to have it ice cold, right? Now, here's the thing. I've got 2 lists. Top 3, non-alcoholic, right? Got to go ice water. Then I love a good slushy, but not frozen, but a little slush. Diet Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew. I love the Diet Mountain Dew. Love Diet Mountain. Yes. Love Diet Mountain Dew. Then I will go now and again a good decent cherry Coke. However, strong pineapple juice is right behind the Diet Cherry Coke. That's for non-alcoholic. My alcoholic. Now listen to me. Ice cold. Natty Light. Yes. Yes. I'm going Natty Light. Because when I was 21, excluding 40s, but that was the first 12 pack I ever bought. It's nostalgia. I'll still go with a 12 pack of ice cold. And if you get them to me in the bottles, what? Little fat bottle? Yeah, buddy. Then I'll go for some vodka with a slice of orange and then regular, but the brew. Natty Light.
That's bottom of the barrel beer.
Pabst Blue Ribbon bottle beer. Mine's nice cold. Woo! Can't beat it, Jack.
How much that cost? How much a case of that? $7?
Now I think it's like now I think if you bring in a can good, they'll give you a 12 pack for free. If you give them
Shit.
Wow.
They say keep the keg. We don't want to bring that nasty smell and stuff down.
Woo! Dog, I love ice cold. Still to this day.
I can tell you flat out. I've become kind of a snob. My top 2 would be gin from McClintock's, vodka from McClintock's, both out of Frederick, Maryland. I can drink as much as I want of those. Well, I'm going to get a little litty if I drink too much, but there is no fallout on that. That's so pure. That stuff is so good and it's so pure. And if I'm getting down with like a seltzer or something, our joint that we go to, Rockwell, they got this mango seltzer that they make. Oh, it is so good. It is just refreshing to me. I usually don't do much with anything outside of those. I will drink a little peanut butter whiskey. Y'all know I like the peanut butter whiskey. In fact, my niece said to me, "What do you guys want to drink besides red wine?" Because I like my red wine. My friends Joe and Nina, they make a lot of wine, and their red wine is banging. I told my niece, I said, besides some wine, I want my little peanut butter whiskey while we're visiting. So that's mine. That's where I'm at with it.
I still haven't tried that peanut butter whiskey yet. You've been talking about it. I still haven't tried it yet.
Dude, Chops, you got to get down with it. And if you really want to mix it with stuff, mix it with a little grape soda. See,
my problem is I don't do well with brown liquor. I don't know why that it hits me different.
But you hit that Crown Royal up a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but I knew when to say when. I wasn't, tripping, going too hard in the paint. Going too hard in the paint now. You know what I mean? And gotta be ice cold. All my liquor, keep it in the freezer.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What? Okay.
How about you, Sheen?
What about you, Sheen? Non-alcoholic. First.
I'm gonna be honest with you, gentlemen. I drink mainly water, probably 95% of the time now, because of my stomach, of course. I like a nice cold Pepsi. I don't mind that. Hey, listen to this one. I don't know about y'all, but Tahitian treat.
Woo! What you know about a Tahitian treat? What? We grew up on the Tahitian treat. The bottle is red and yellow with like the bullshit palm tree.
Yep.
Yes,
it's a Pittsburgh thing.
It's better than Cherokee Red.
Cherokee Red was bomb though. Don't get us to do that.
Woo! Yep. Tahitian treat.
Yep.
Yes.
Mark, you don't know that one?
I don't know the Tahitian treat. They didn't have that at those Chops.
When we're done and you look it up, you'll be like, I used to drink. Yes, dog. We used to drink it.
He had to.
Red and white queer. We used to get it.
Yeah.
Yes, dog. It's what's that?
They have it at Bigley's.
Whoo, dude! As soon as you see it, you'll be like, I remember this. Yes.
Tahitian treat. As far as alcohol goes, I don't. Yeah, of course, again because of my stomach, I don't really drink alcohol. So
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
Makes sense. Hey, last category is that those places you want to see a game.
I want to go first.
Go ahead.
Cub Stadium, Jerry World, the Big House, Wembley, Yankee Stadium, Rose Bowl, Madison Square Garden. I think I got more than 10. Rucker, Wimbledon, Cameron Indoor, and Roman Coliseum.
Wow.
Wow.
And you know what, fellas? Honestly, mine
give
won't
us-
even work because I hate crowds. That's why I don't go to live events.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I can't do crowds. And it's not even I can't do crowds. I hate crowds at sporting events because you always get the drunken idiot beside you. So I don't really go out to them. Now, if we're going and I can get the box in the, I don't even need all the purchase, but if I'm in the box where I don't have to worry about any of that, then I want to see something in Madison Square Garden. But my number one overall, I want to see a big time fight in Vegas. I want to see a hell of a fight in Vegas. And then after that, I'm good with the Big House. I'm good with Nittany Lion Stadium. You know, I want to see I want to go to Florida. I want to go to Doak Campbell, Florida State. I want to, yeah. And fellas, I'll be honest with you, like to see something Raiders home stadium, but again, being in Vegas. But there aren't a whole lot of pro stadiums I'd want to see. It's college arenas for me.
Right.
It's college arenas.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes
I mean,
sense. It's even
I've been
bigger.
to a Penn State game.
The fanfare is so different.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I went Penn State, Michigan, and that crowd was amazing.
Ridiculous.
Oh
Fellas,
my gosh.
I would rather see, and I'm not even lying to you. When I get hyped, I watch the men's College World Series, the last game, but I watch more of the women's college softball World Series than I do the men's. I really do. I really do.
You said that.
And it's just they get hyped. Not that men don't, but I like, you know what I mean? So that's it. And it's what it stinks is that's the only female sport I'd really be looking to say. Now there's a couple UFC fighters, female UFC fighters I'd want to go see, but I have no interest in going to see any of the WNBA, no interest in going to see women's soccer. But if you take me to, I'd go see a couple women's college games, hoops and softball, and that I would be.
When I was down in Rickwood a couple weeks ago, they went to see Caitlin Clark play in Atlanta. I didn't feel well, so I didn't go. But yeah, I did want to go. I was going to go. Yeah.
You know, one place I'd like to go. I've been to Yankee Stadium. I've been inside
the new one?
Wembley. Huh?
The new one or the old one?
We were in the old one.
Okay.
We were at the old one.
They're always sold out, right? Are they always sold out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay.
We were at Wembley. I've been at the new one too, by the way. Jen and I went last year and saw a game. But I've been to Wembley, but I haven't seen a game there. But I've been inside it. I like going to Notre Dame. That's really, you talk about the fanfare of a stadium. Notre Dame. I think we're overlooking PNC Park as one of the best baseball stadiums ever built for a lot of reasons. And none of it has to do with being a winning team.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to like Field of Dreams out, where is it, Iowa? I'd like to go see something happen down there. I've never been to a game at Williamsport. We drove by Williamsport. I'd like to see like a Little League World Series game in Williamsport. And it sounds so trivial, but it's just such part of our culture, you know. Madison Square Garden. I remember I interviewed Matthew Barnaby, former NHLer Matthew Barnaby, and he said there was nothing quite like playing in Madison Square Garden. And it just has levels to it, and there's so much going on there all the time in different levels. And I definitely would love to go there. The Forum, the old Forum, though, I know it's gone now, but man, I would have loved to have gone to the old Forum and saw something there. That would have been amazing. But I agree, like Chicago Stadium, like the Cubs Stadium. I've been to Fenway Park. That's pretty neat. That is pretty.
But see, for me, and I was thinking about it. Then Mark, you had said it right before I started thinking about it before you said PNC Park. All these places I'd like to go visit. I want it to be, if it's at the big house, I want it to be Michigan, Ohio State. I don't want it to be Michigan and Illinois.
Makes
you know
sense.
what I'm saying? Because on that aspect, I don't know. I want to get the full effect. Hell, Tiger Stadium, LSU, Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, LSU. I'd like to see that at night. You know what I mean? Maybe Alabama in town or somebody like that. You know, because to me that also matters. That who is there helps tremendously with the atmosphere. To me,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. You know, I personally, I don't know. I've been to Penn State. I saw him play Michigan. It was so long ago. It was in the late '80s when Charles Woodson, he won the Heisman, right? Am I right? Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the year. It was the year he won the Heisman. That's the last time I was at a Penn State game at State College. You know, like that's a million years ago. I need to see them. I'm like you, Chop. So if I'm going to go back there, who am I going to see Penn State play? That's gonna be a great game, because them playing Michigan, them playing Ohio State is never a great game because those teams own them. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, they need a quarterback.
Well, they're hyping this kid now.
Oh, that's good. I don't care. Do something, because
you got to do something.
That last one was terrible. Well, he's still there, I think, but he's terrible.
Yeah, he is still there. They're hyping the hell out of him. Drew Allaire.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, then, fellas. I mean, and that's why I like doing top 10 lists, because you have your own. Somebody else tells you theirs.
Yeah.
You might be like, damn, I didn't think about it. Now you got me thinking. You never. I love that. I don't care what it is. I don't care when you go to a game. Why, if we were to see those hot dogs, like the hot dogs in the dirty water, the old, you don't want that. But it's Trisha, you got to get a dog when you go to a ballpark. You got to. You have to. You have to, man. Think about this. I don't even know how often you guys eat peanuts in the shell, but hot roasted peanuts in the shell at a baseball game, gotta do it. Gotta do it.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of
things. You go
things.
to a stadium, like if you go to Orioles Stadium, you could buy them outside and bring them in, and they're dirt cheap out there. They're like $3 for a big bag. So we always get down with that.
Yeah. I can see that.
Shane, you want to take us home?
Do I want to? Not really, but I will.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you want us to say, hey, Chop, tell them where they can find you.
You know, you can find me. You can find your boy on the X at the Real Big Chops, on the gram, Big Chop 79, on Facebook by my government, Michael Gregory Mills. But I'm your boy. Come on, just look up where that slick one at. That's where you'll find this slick jokes.
You're on TikTok too, Chops. You put
on the Tickety Talks. I forgot about the TikTok Jones.
There's a new one called Threads. What is that?
I don't know, but I signed up for it, but I don't know how it works.
What's it called?
I don't. But I did sign up for it. I ain't even going front.
Like, it keeps hitting me to come over, and I'm like, what? Well, I don't know about that. But tell us where they can find you at, Mark.
Well, you've got all my stuff right there, Sheen. You can.
Oh, okay. I mean, we can go to the pod page. You mean, or are we talking Facebook? Mark Maradei. Catch us on Twitter. OSP with Mark Maradei. You can see us on TikTok, Original Sports Podcast. You can find us on Elite Sports Entertainment Network, along with Sideline Sports. Let's Talk Sports Network. Am I on point there? Mark, am I good?
We're on Peak One. Yeah.
And we're also in YouTube. We have
too.
YouTube. There's a YouTube page. Also, you can find us, Original Sports Podcast. I think I covered everything.
Yeah.
Feel free to let us know any comments you have, questions by emailing us at originalsportspodcast@gmail.com. We want to thank Charlie Hodgson for the intro and outro music. We want to thank who else here? I don't know. Who?
Medley's voice.
Okay, that person's voice. I don't see it, man. I thought you had this all lined up.
I did.
Oh, I do. I'm sorry. You're right. You do have it. Voice intro, Mr. Steve Medley. You're right. I'm sorry. And again, intro and outro music by Charlie Hodgson. Miss Maradei. Terry helps us with the
webpage.
The webpage. Thank you. I think I got everybody. Join us every week to experience the on the Original Sports Podcast. I need more practice at this.
Fellas, I think we'll do a mailbag next week. That'll be great for the show.
All right.
Dude, I'm busy.
Let me close this out.